Good evening, folks. This is Andy Pedraza with Special Effects Academy. We're on the start of the week session in the Forex trading room for November 22nd of 2020. We'll be going through our standard agenda for the start of the week. So look at the prior week's results, our currency strength meter, anything on the calendar as regards fundamental announcements, a look at the major pairs on the dailies, any setups we see in progress, and a few words in conclusion. The ledger, long-term ledger on screen, or will be, there it is. We're up a few percentage points on closed trades, so an overall good week for our long-term account. We have 2 trades remaining open at this point in time, and they are both at profit. Intermediate term ledger, same results. We're up a few percentage points from where we were last week, and we have 4 trades open on this account, all 4 of them carrying profit. On the short-term account, this was our only backslide in the past week. We only traded twice. One of the trades was break even. One of them gave us a small loss. So the only account that didn't make progress over the week, but again, it's the short-term account. We do expect it to go up and down overall on short periods of time. So that's where we are with the 3 accounts. Notes and opportunities for improvement. Nothing much to mention as regards actual trading, just the events going on around the world right now. The election shambles in the US is continuing. The dollar is sliding. All of the dollar crosses are at breakout points, the one exception being one that has already broken out. A second COVID vaccine has been announced, also at a 95% effectiveness rate, which is only slightly lower than the survival rate for the actual virus. So take that with a grain of sand. U.S. Stock markets at all-time highs. Commodities such as oil, silver, gold, very likely to continue to overperform. Moving into our relative strength meter for the past week and month, if I may direct your attention to the rightmost columns. On the monthly, we can see that the bigger movers have been some of the Aussie pairs. Definitely the Aussie is starting to shine, especially against the dollar, very close to a breakout point. Another positive, of course, and a bigger one is the Kiwi dollar at almost 5% gains for the month. The Kiwi beating out the US dollar very nicely. And that is the one exception I pointed out earlier on a chart that has already broken out. All the other dollar crosses are at extreme resistance or support. The Kiwi dollar never stopped, just kept going and is officially in a breakout. Silver has had a poor week, so it did backslide 2%, but overall for the month, still up more than 2.5%. Gold also down by a smaller amount, by about 1%, and is now at about break even for the month. It is normal for these zigs and zags to happen on every one of these charts, but especially on the commodities, as the market bandies around for a choke point, really. And with the uncertainty coming out of the U.S. elections, I would expect silver and gold, which are still very near decades-long highs, will continue to move in that same direction. But again, seeing is believing. Fundamental announcements for the week. This is going to be an abbreviated week. We've got the U.S. Thanksgiving Day holiday coming up on Thursday, and Friday is usually the start of the shopping season, also known as Black Friday in the U.S. So we'll be trading live Monday through Wednesday, and then taking off for a Thursday and Friday. So a very short trading week. Only thing on the calendar that we will be trading is the FOMC minutes coming out on Wednesday. So last trading day of the week, 2 p.m. And we'll take advantage of that session to do an end of the week at the same time. So we'll be combining the fundamental trading of the FOMC minutes, the regular 2 p.m. afternoon session, and the end of the week. It will be a 3-4-1. With that, we move into the charts. Oil continues trading in a very sideways channel, currently at the very top of said channel, around the 42, 43 level, and is now attempting yet another breakout. Quite a nice bit of a move after a slump a few weeks back. Now all the way at the top again of its most recent range, and with the dollar weakness, I would not be surprised to see gold start going towards the top again. Euro dollar, and we're going to see this on all the dollar pairs except for the Kiwi dollar, which has already done it. They're very near that extreme, either high or low, depending which way the cross trades. In this case, Euro dollar is very near its top, not yet at its most recent high. It's lacking about 100 pips for that, but that was an extreme breakout back in August. Yeah, somewhere in August, where it tried to do a breakout and failed. Now it's angling for that again, and very likely, if things continue the way they are, we will see that breakout happening. Pound dollar, same thing. It's all but at the last level of resistance and heading steadily in that direction. We're trading this one actively. We're carrying profit on the trade, and very likely we'll be trading it even more. Not sure that anything's going to happen this week. Again, it's a very trading week given the US holiday, but anything can happen. USDJPY angling towards the bottom. This one trades, of course, in the opposite direction. Dollar weakness is towards the bottom. It's nowhere near its most recent low, but that was an extreme. And the normal trading range for the USDJPY used to be at 100 yen even per dollar. So it's still 400 pips above that as we speak. It has broken out of the sideways. It was trapped in for quite a long time, and well, it wouldn't surprise me to see it go back to the 100 level. Have to see when that may happen. USD Canadian also very near its bottom in breakout territory. It's trapped between a dropping trend line and the horizontal support at the bottom. So it is in a wedge, and again, very likely to see a breakout in coming weeks. USD, surprise, surprise, same thing, very close to the bottom. It is in a sideways channel right now, so we're still waiting for that breakout. But when the breakout happens, it'll do two things. It'll break both the sideways channel and also break the very bottom of the chart. So again, breakout territory. Aussie dollar, another one poised at the top for that breakout, has been toying with the uppermost level of resistance for a couple of weeks now. We'll see if this week or the next finally gives us that push above. And of course, our one exception, the Kiwi dollar, already in breakout territory, is higher than it has been in the visible portion of the chart until the past couple of weeks, and is still going strong towards the top. So to see higher highs, we would have to zoom out to a weekly chart and see that it still has quite a room to go towards the top. I think around 75 cents on the dollar. And well, it is heading steadily in that direction. So it wouldn't surprise me to see that breakout and for us to have to consult the weeklies to look for targets. Of the Canadian sideways channel, very near the top, also a potential breakout, but I don't have the same confidence in Canadian weakness that I do in dollar weakness. So this one might be actually getting to the point of overextension and due for a retrace, or it could break out. Either one could happen. So what do we do in these cases? We wait for it to happen and trade it accordingly. Euro Swiss, our craziest of all charts. It's just going in all directions depending what week we look at. This past week it was mostly sideways, hugging a resistance point very near the top and waiting for something to push it over or bounce it back. Euro pound dropping steadily. We have been trading this one as well. Still waiting for the breakout on support about, I'm going to say 50 pips below current price, but it is continuing to head in that direction. Wouldn't surprise me if we do have a breakout. Also, regarding the UK and Brexit and the euro and all this, I keep hearing from the talking heads that we are as close as 72 hours away from some sort of announcement coming out of the Eurozone and the UK as regards Brexit. There's nothing official in that statement, but I keep hearing that sort of gossip on the street. So this may be the week that we have the announcement of a final Brexit agreement. Probably not going to be good for the UK, but at the same time, it's very unlikely to be as bad as everyone fears it will be. So I think there's more upside to the pound than downside at this point, and that's the way I've been trading it for quite a while. No reason to change until the charts tell me I'm wrong, in which case I will jump in the opposite direction. But for now, we'll continue doing what we're doing. EURJPY bouncing between support and resistance, so really nothing much to see in this chart. Traded directionally for the intra week, but there's no longer term movement in play right now. Euro Canadian at support, has been for quite a while. Still in a sideways channel, but very close to that breakout level as well towards the bottom. It does have room to move. It's got about 400 pips to the next level, but it could as easily go up as down. So this is going to be another waiting game. Pound JPY, this one is going to heavily depend on whatever outcome Brexit gives us. It is sideways. It's very far from both resistance and support. It's in the middle of a channel, so could go either way. My bet is it's going to go up, but again, seeing is believing. This last week was a very flat week for the pound JPY. No net movement. Aussie JPY, very near the top. I wouldn't say in breakout territory yet. It's got to cross a couple of levels of resistance to do that. But it is, as you can clearly see, very near the top of the chart with a lot of downside to come. I think yen strength is a lot more likely than continued Aussie strength, and this one could drop all the way to the bottom. It may take a while to do so. It may be a steady trend. It may be a 1 week drop. I don't know, but be prepared for a break of support. I think that's far more likely than a breakout from the top. Euro New Zealand getting to the very bottom of its most recent range, also breakout territory if the Kiwi continues appreciating. Not sure if that is what's in the cards. We could also see Euro weakness, which would drive it towards the bottom as well. But this chart is just something a little bit wishy-washy about it. This is another one where we're going to wait to see what the movement actually does before we start trading it. Pound Canadian, susceptible. Of course, I don't think there's anything much going on with the Canadian right now to worry us, so it's going to be Brexit, Brexit, Brexit. If all plays out to the point where the pound is going to be gaining in strength, of course, there's a lot of room to move here towards the top. So another waiting game on that announcement. Pound Swiss, same thing, sideways channel for quite a while, getting to be very close to the breakout from the top of that channel, but we're waiting on the Brexit announcement to see which way it pops. And last but not least, pound Aussie. I think there's more upside to the pound Aussie than downside. It's very close to the bottom of the chart. I think the pound is overdue for a correction into strength, which may make this one go all the way to the top to the, I'm going to say the $2 per pound level. Currently trading about 2,000 pips below that. So quite a bit of love to be had there from this pair. It's one of the more interesting charts in that there's a huge potential for gain if we get that Aussie weakness combined with pound strength, or even one of the two. We don't even need both to play out. So put this one on your radars. This is probably going to be one of the better opportunities in the next quarter. That's it for the charts. Setups we see in progress. Not a whole lot of change from what we said last week, other than to point out the Thanksgiving holiday, which will have us in a shorter trading week than normal, Monday through Wednesday only. The pound pairs, of course, we're waiting on Brexit, plus whatever fallout from the U.S. election. Dollar pairs, no need to say anything other than it is all election. New Zealand breaking out against the dollar and breaking out quite nicely. So that is definitely the one to keep trading. The Swiss pairs, the Swiss, of course, always looking good as a safe haven currency during times of trouble. And these are definitely times of trouble, at least from an economic standpoint. And the euro pairs, also the reaction to the US election. Not much else going on, of course. The European banking sector is always in a shambles. I shouldn't say always, but it has been in a shambles for quite a while. No change to that, but the market seems to have discounted those banking issues as just normal state of business in the Eurozone. So it really is going to be the continued reaction to the US election that will have the euro moving one way or another. And that's going to be it for us this week. Again, Thanksgiving week. As successful traders, we do have so many things to be grateful about, at least I do. So take some time to express it, enjoy the bounty, and safe trading out there. Do I have any comments or questions from anyone before we drop off? Okay, thank you very much, folks. We will be back tomorrow. Have a great rest of the weekend.